Thanks, Ceann Corla. Tánaiste, mortgage holders could be facing extra mortgage charges of €1,000 a year as interest rates rise. This is the latest part of the cost of living crisis. We hear from the CSO that inflation has hit 7%. It is the sharpest cost of living crisis squeeze for ordinary people since the 1980s. And that's in a context that Irish banks are already charging the second highest rates for mortgages in the Eurozone, average borrowers paying more than €2,000 a year compared to their counterparts in other European countries. These are the banks that were bailed out by the public and are now again hugely profitable. It is profiteering, pure and simple, and it should be stopped. The government is pushing ahead with privatisation of AIB, when in fact the banking sector should be brought into public ownership and run on a democratic, not-for-profit basis as a public utility. But will you at the very least act now to empower the central bank to cap the interest rates that can be charged for mortgage holders?
Thanks, thanks, Deputy. In case you hadn't noticed, a large number of banks are leaving the country. At the moment, there are tens of thousands of individual customers and business customers of Ulster Bank and KBC trying to find a new bank. And among the reasons as to why those banks are leaving the country is, while they can make profits here, they actually would make more profits for their capital in other countries, and that's one of the stated reasons as to why they are why they're leaving Ireland. It is true that interest rates are higher in Ireland than they are in other Eurozone countries. It's also true that bank charges are lower. There are signing fees that don't exist in Ireland, and it is the case in Ireland, and this is a good thing, by the way, that we have a much lower level of repossessions, and that does have a knock-on effect of socialising the cost of that in higher interest rates. So there are many reasons as to why interest rates in Ireland are higher than they are in other European countries.
Regional Group.